What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about the 2-1 buy down. You've seen it everywhere. All the lenders are pushing it. All the real estate agents are pushing it. But I honestly think it's a crap product. So I'm going to explain that a little bit today. I'm going to kind of go over the pros and cons, what I think about the product, and what I think you should really consider when trying to utilize the 2-1 buy down. I do think it has a place. I think it's a very select few people that should actually use this product. So let's talk about what a 2-1 buy down is. 2-1 buy down is essentially they're going to take your rate, which right now is 7.5%, 8%, and they're going to buy that rate down for 2 years. The first year they're going to take it from an 8 to a 6. The second year they're going to take it from an 8 to a 7. So that's 2 points, 2 percentage points in the first year, 1 percentage point the second year. What I need you to understand is that this is not a free product. They're trying to sell this thing. Basically, all the marketing says, 2-1 buy down, use me. This is going to be great. Get off the fence, buy a house because the rate's lower. What they're not saying is that this is not free. There's nothing about this product that is free. It is a cost. It's an upfront cost. They're still making the same amount of money. So read into it a little deeper. We're going to try to cover that today. So let's get into an example first. The first example I took this directly from a flyer that a lender gave me. And basically the example here says, if your purchase price is $350,000 and the rate is 6.5%, this is theoretical, this is an example, you're going to need about $78, $21, $48 in seller credit to pay for this buy down. That $78, $21, $48 is something you're going to have to ask the seller to pay, or you can pay it yourself, but at that point, there's no real value in this product if you're paying it yourself. So what they're preaching is, just have a seller give you $7,000, $8,000 to pay for this buy down. And we'll cover why that's not real practical. So that's what you're going to need to pay the rate down. And basically what's happening in your first year, your mortgage payment is going to be $1,979.30. That's because your rate is now 4.5%. That's 2% off the 6.5. So your mortgage payment is going to be $1,979.30. Year number 2, your payment goes up $209, and it's going to be $2,189.29. That's because your rate jumped from a 4.5 to a 5.5. That is the 2 and the 1. That is the difference. Year 3 through 30, your payment then goes up to the start rate, whatever the rate is right now, which would take your payment up to $2,410.19 at the 6.5 rate. So what they're doing is they run the schedule, the amortization schedule, and they take the difference, what you would have normally paid, the $2,410, and they put it in a separate account. That is this $78, $21, $48. So they take the difference, they put it in an account. You pay $1,979.30. They take $209 a month out of that payment and add it to. So the person that buys this mortgage is still making $2,410.19 on the deal. What they're doing is they're taking it and they're just paying it on behind the scenes. So when they tell you that this is a great product, it's really not. It's really not a great product. It's really not that much of a savings to you. It is up front, but you're not seeing it because the cost is built into it. All the money that you're asking from the seller or whoever is going into a separate account. It goes into a separate account every month. They pay the difference. The end user still gets the same amount of money. So it's really not a cost savings. It's a tool. This is a tool to help you for the short term. This is not a long-term benefit. This is a 2-year product. It's going to help you for 2 years. If the rates go down, super. That's what they're selling this is. 2 years, the rates are going to be back down. It's going to be great. Everybody should buy right now. Don't be scared. Buy. Your payment's only going to be $1,900 at 4.5%. We're going to help you out. We're going to help you. So let's do this. We'll do this. We'll give you 2, and then we'll give you 1, and then the third year, it's going to go back up to what it is. There's a big problem in this. Most people don't know how to budget. Most people don't know how to budget. So if you have if you go into it and you're like, oh, 1979, I can swing that, no big deal. And then you buy a car and you go on vacation and you update the house and you get comfortable with 1979.30. Next year, guess what? It's went up $200. You took in a car payment of $300. 1979 was kind of tight because you spent the extra money in your budget, because that's how people do it. You get here to $21.89. Okay, well, we can swing it. We can make that work for now. We'll just move some stuff around, eat out less. We'll do this. Well, surprise, year 3, 24/10/19 comes up, and you've spent the money, the surplus that you had, back into this and other expenses that you weren't prepared for this 24/10, and you can get into trouble. I want you to understand that if you're going to use this product, you need to budget your life on the big number. Take the savings, appreciate the savings, know that this is great. We love these numbers. We like the low rates. I want you to save money, but I want you to understand that if, heaven forbid, the market doesn't crash and the rates go back down to 2.5%, 3%, like everybody wants them to, which I really don't think is going to happen in the next 1 to 2 years. I just don't see it coming. I see us being more in the 5-6 range. We got to look at this, and we got to know that, yes, I can afford my monthly payment and I can live like a normal person on 24/10/19, not 1900, the big number. You need to prepare for the big number. So let's get into some pros and cons. I do think there is a time and a place for this product, and it works for a certain few people. Let's explain. Lower payment. That is a pro. That is great. I want you guys to get this lower payment. I want everybody to have a lower payment. The rates are insane. People aren't ready for it. And that's keeping people from buying. I think if you can get into this product and you know that I can afford 24/10, then you're fine. But you've got to understand 24/10 is what's coming. It is going to come. And if the rates don't go low enough and you can't refinance into a smaller payment, 24/10 is where you're stuck. Understand that. Lower payments are great. I'm happy that you get it for 2 years, but it's not for the life of the loan. It's only for 2 years. It is coming. You can refinance. If the rates go down, you can refinance this product. They're not going to penalize you. You're not stuck in the adjustable product for too long. If the rates do come down to a manageable number and you can refinance, what they'll do with the difference that is in escrow still, they will do a principal reduction or they'll give you a credit. I'm sure every product has a different way that they've wrote that. You need to read the fine print, because the fine print's going to tell you what happens if you do refinance or if there's any penalties for refinancing. I don't know every product. I know one, and I know that they give you a principal reduction on that. Now let's go into what I do not like about this product. First and foremost, this is not a free product. This is not free. They are not giving you a discount because they like you and they care about their customers. This is a sales tool. Marketers come up with this for lenders because lenders aren't making money. Real estate agents are screaming from the rooftops, use the 2-1 buy down, because they want you to buy houses because they don't make money if they don't buy houses. I'm an agent. I understand. What I care about is you guys. I don't care about the selling of houses. Yes, I want to sell houses. It's my livelihood. But what I'm telling you is this is not free. Nothing is free. There's always a catch to everything. You need to read the fine print on this, and you need to understand that this product is being paid for by somebody. Budget buster. This is a huge budget buster. This is my biggest concern for this product, is that clients get used to paying $1,900 and they forget, because life happens, that the payment is going up. So you get used to $1,979 for a whole year. A whole year you're paying $1,979, then it goes up $200, and then it goes up $220 the next year. You have got to understand, when you sign up for this product, the big numbers what matters. These two are nice to have. You have to understand that this will ruin your budget, because you get a new car, you get a new air conditioner, you put a roof on the house, you get, you paint some stuff. Money goes in the budget for what you're currently on. Nobody thinks, oh, well, I need a budget for 24/10 because my payment right now is $1,979. And as you all know, right now is what matters to all of us. So Be prepared. If you are going to use this product, you need to be prepared for the big number, because that is what's going to get you in trouble. You're going to get complacent. You're going to use the money that you're saving on this in your daily life, and you're going to struggle when you get to the bigger number. I just know it's going to happen. It's pretty common. Just prepare yourself. Seller's mentality. This is my third thing that I just think this product isn't going to work. So what you're doing right now, and what is happening in the market, is we went from sellers going in and listing their home for 200 and getting 250 for the house, which is absurd. 200 was high, they're getting 250. Now they're listing their house still at 200. The prices haven't come down that significantly. And they're not getting it. They're not getting 200. It's sitting on the market for 30 days. So what the lenders and everybody are thinking, well, if the house is sitting on the market, they're going to be willing to do this. You got to think about this from a seller's mentality. The seller is saying, all right, my neighbor sold their house, exact same house, because all these houses look the same. They sold it for 250. I have mine listed at 200. Why in the hell am I not selling my house? Why is it not selling when this is a seller's market? They don't realize that times are changing. We're in the beginning of this change. So seller mentality is a big deal. They're thinking, all right, my neighbor sold theirs for 250. I'm listing mine for 200. It should sell immediately. Well, it's not. It's sitting on the market for 30 days. So what's happening is buyers are coming in and saying, well, I'll give you 190 for that $200,000 house. So the seller's saying, okay, well, that's $10,000 off of my already low price. They're not super excited about it, but they're doing it because they have no choice, because the house is on the market too long. So what is happening is you come in here and you ask $10,000 off of their already low price in their mind, and then you're asking for another $7,800 on top of that for you to get this sweet buy down deal that's going to help only you, but now you're asking them to pay for it, so they're down almost $1,800 off of their already low price. I just don't see sellers being okay with that yet. Now, in the future, it may work. It may come to the point where you've been on the market 60 days and you're like, fuck, I got to do something. And you're willing to do this. Or, and this is a game, the seller is going to go, all right, if their agent is savvy, they're going to say, look, there's a 2-1 buy down. Why don't we just get with my lender and we'll offer it, but we'll pad the price to pay for it. So instead of 200, we're going to list this sucker at 210. And we're going to say, oh, we're going to offer this 2-1 buy down to get buyers to come in. This is the way the game is played. You've got to think outside of the box on this stuff. So understand that the seller mentality has not quite caught up with the reality of the market, as the buyer's mentality has not caught up. Buyers are thinking right now, well, I need a 3% or a 5%, and it's 8%. So they're not buying. They're sitting on the fence. Sellers are saying, well, my neighbor sold their house for 250. Why am I selling mine for 200? This is bullshit. Listen, this has to change. It takes time. This is going to take time for them to catch up with what is going on in the market. You have to understand that when you're going to look at a house, you have to look at it from both sides of the deal. Now, things I want you to consider about this product. Maybe a normal buy down. Talk to your lender and see if you can just do a standard buy down for 30 years. I would much prefer you take this savings or the savings you get on the number for the house and put that towards a standard buy down for 30 years. Yes, you're not gonna pay, $8,000 and get your rate down to 4.5. You're gonna save a half a point maybe. But what you're gonna do is set your payment up for 30 years at a half a point difference. I think that this standard buy down for the life of the loan is a better choice than going with the 2-1 where you may get yourself in trouble. You've got to think about that. The other thing is, if you can get a deal on the home, if you can get a $10,000 or a $17,000 deal on the home and have them pay some of your closing costs, I think it's a much better deal than setting you up for a possible failure in 2 years. I want you to understand that this is a 30-year process. You need to think of it long term. Don't think of the now and the short term. I want you to think long term. When you're going into anything with a mortgage, you need to think 30 years. No, you're not going to live in the house 30 years. That's very rare. But I'm telling you right now, plan for 30 years. And then when you go to sell, you're going to get your money back, because that's part of home ownership. I want you to benefit from home ownership, not be stuck in a problem because you didn't plan properly. I don't ever want one of my clients to come to me and have to sell because they forgot that the mortgage was going up and I helped get them in a shitty situation. That's not what I'm about. I want to help you long term. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to finance within your means. Buy a house that you can afford, the payment, the big number, no matter what. That's what home ownership's about. Don't buy above your means. Buy within your means. Buy something that you can afford, no matter what happens to the rates. If they come down, great. Everybody's saying, date the rate. Everybody wants to say that. I'm fine with that. That is okay. If the rates come down and you're in a 7% and you can refinance and save money long term, I'm aces with it. Do it, please. When we bought our house, our rate was 3.5. We saved a full point. We refinanced in 6 months. I'm telling you, you got to understand the consequences of signing up for a deal like this. I really think they're not preaching it enough. They're not looking out for you, and I'm trying to. So, something else. Buy within your means. Like I just said, you need to buy a house that you can afford no matter what the payment goes to. If it's an adjustable rate like this adjusts for the first 2 years. It works just like an adjustable rate. But then you're fixed at this start rate, whatever the percentage is right now. So you need to be able to afford the start rate and forget about the extras. This is extra. This is what you need to be able to afford. Now, new builds. They have offered this product forever in new builds. It's not a new thing. This is not some rare thing that they just came up with because the market's changing. This is a 2-1 buy down. This has been around. My concern with new builds is that this payment in new builds gonna go up significant. They're gonna give you the rate buy down, but what happens in the background is your interest, your mortgage taxes go up. Your taxes go up because on a vacant piece of land, the taxes are, let's say, $50 a year. Well, when you put a $350,000 house on it and they reassess it, it's no longer going to be $50. It's going to be more like $2,000 a year, and your payment's going to go up because of that. You need to plan for that. And when you're mixing in a 2-1 buy down on this already adjusting number because your taxes go up, your payment is going to go up significantly. You've got to be prepared for it. So be very, 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 very careful when doing it for a new build. I will say with a new build, it's going to be an easier sell because when builders aren't building homes, they start offering deals. They start taking care of their clients because they need your business. The last 2 to 3 years, they didn't need your business. They put whatever they wanted out there and you bought it because you had to. Right now, people aren't building homes because the rates are high. They're going to start offering this shit again, and you need to be prepared for your payment to go up a lot more than $200. You need to be prepared for the taxes. Yes, they're going to estimate them. No, they don't ever get it right. They're going to give you an idea, but it's not going to be right, so you need to prepare for worst case scenario. I would pad the big number as much as possible just so you're prepared when these taxes change. It makes a difference. So you need to be prepared for that. And finally, life happens. If you sign up for this, the majority of people are going to buy a car, get new air conditioner, update the house, pay for some flooring, whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that happens. Like, you have to understand that the big number is the number you need to prepare for. And enjoy the short term that you're saving money, but understand that I can afford this house within my means with the big number, not the small number, the big number. And then when you make purchases and decisions, base it on this big number. Run a budget, put it on the big number, and see if you can still afford it. Maybe that $500 car payment isn't going to get it when you've got to pay $2,410 on your mortgage. You have to understand that nobody knows if the rates are going down. Nobody knows if they're going up. We just don't know. Anybody that tells you that they can guarantee you that rates will be cheaper in 2 years is a liar. You need to question what they're saying, because nobody has any idea what could happen in the next 2 years. We don't know. Yes, the forecast is that the rates will settle and it'll come down, but nothing's guaranteed, especially in real estate market. Nothing's guaranteed. So you need to be prepared for the big number. That's all I'm saying. There are pros and cons. This does work for some people. If you're really good at budgeting, this may be the product for you if you can understand how to budget. But what I don't want you to do is to sign up for this in hopes that the rates go down, and then they don't, and you're stuck in 2410 and you can't afford it. I need you to understand, just from, for me, that you have to pay this 2410. You've got to be able to finance that. I want you to take all the good from being a homeowner and not get into a situation where you're struggling and you can't pay your mortgage payment. That's not what this is about. This is not what I want for my clients and people that work with me. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to answer them. I don't know everything about this. I know what I've read. I've done my research. I just want you to understand everything isn't always rainbows and butterflies when it comes to products like this. Use all the information that you can get, research the product, talk to your lender, just know what you can handle and budget properly. Thanks, guys.